Hello, everyone. We are the Deep Clearance team, or we are Team Deep Clearance, and my name is Michael.
Marshall.
Casey. Giovanna.
Josh. So just a brief background on our problem. We were actually tasked with finding a solution to help soldiers on the battlefield understand what is in an unidentified environment, specifically a cave. So, as you'll see in our presentation, this is has been our focus, and we've tackled different issues such as battery life and connection issues. So, throughout this past week, we really wanted to focus on battery life and 360 cameras or different sensors that we needed to focus on. So, initially, we were thinking a 360 camera would be beneficial. However, thermal imaging is more important. This was validated because when you're looking in caves, a lot of them are low-light situations, so even if you do have a camera, it's not really going to be that useful, and then the thermal can help look through any debris that's in the cave. Our second hypothesis was that we should use a standardized battery so that people can describe it off the shelf really easily in Supply Depot, but that was invalidated. After we interviewed someone from Revision Military, we learned how these current batteries have low battery life, they're not reusable, and a bunch of other issues we can discuss later. Also, we decided that we wanted to focus on seeing if our MVP should include a rechargeable battery, and this was validated because it was really important to have this device be reusable.
So this week our VPC we changed a little bit. We added reusable battery as both a product and a pain reliever. They're going to elaborate on it later, but through our interviews we did find a reusable battery that is going to work for our product. And then we focused on the buy-in and support, which I'll elaborate on here. So basically our supporters are, we would say, Asymmetric Warfare Group and DARPA. Those are the people that basically helped us the most when we conducted interviews. They're very open to helping us with our solution. Our advocates are obviously the 75th Ranger Regiment. They're our biggest advocates for this product if it works. And then our saboteurs, we're not sure about the Instaneye yet. We were going to take it out. I guess it didn't come out. But basically any other system that is like ours, because there are kits out there like the Instaneye that has everything already in it. So basically, if we come out with a product and any enemy contractor that does the same work, it would be a saboteur.
And here we have the battery. The Solo Pack is what it's called. That's the battery we want to utilize. These are the sensors that we'd like to utilize. And now we have to craft a UAS that will cohese those systems in the battery.
All right, so once more, we're going to talk more about our MVP. So we're still going with the same structure again. Still 2 lead drones, each with communicating abilities. They're going to be autonomous, and they're going to be linked through Swarm. Now, the smaller drones, which are going to also act as breadcrumbs along with the 360 fly cameras that we'll talk about, will also be part of the Swarm. But since they do not have as much room for onboard flight computers and all sorts of other fun gadgets, we would just make them responsible to waypoints that are dropped by the larger drones. So they would say, okay, we need a wireless hotspot here. They would fall out of position, leaving the 2 main drones who have the thermal cameras, the mapping software in the 360 cameras, and the other stuff to go about their own business. So as they're going along inside of a cave, say you come into a junction or something, and you want to have a static view of that cave or that junction as you're going along inside the cave or the building. So you drop one of the 360 fly cameras, and one of the cool things with the ATAC and the whatever tablet or something that you're using, you can switch between views. So not only can you go for what the drones are seeing currently, but you can switch back to the 360 cameras that also, they do have some motion detecting capabilities. So it can alert you if, say, your drones are further ahead and they don't see anything, but one of the 360 cameras that you dropped has suddenly alerted you, oh, there's motion. You can quickly look back to see if it's a person or, say, a rat or something in whatever environment that you're in. And then this all is fed back to the controller and to possibly a Fat Shark or some other VR type headset, which allows the Rangers to actually get a first-person view of what they're looking at. So they can still operate whatever they have in their hands, but they can look around easily with a 360 camera. So it allows for the user to have a better understanding of the environment around them. Let me go to the next slide. All right, so then talking about some of our things, the little breadcrumb drones, these are the PD drones. They literally fit in the palm of your hand. I mean, they're tiny. You can drop them, you can throw them, all sorts of fun stuff. The 360 fly camera, like I said, motion detection capability. They do have a microphone, mapping capabilities, drop, water, and shock resistant or dust resistant. They can record up to 1.5 hours, and on standby they have a battery life of around 14 hours, so they can be in place for quite a while. And then we also have the thermite charge that we're going to be putting on it, just in case.
Okay, so something we have definitely come across this week is this is our like big picture moment for us. We gave our beneficiaries the wallet. So from feedback from last week when they looked at our presentation, our sponsors in particular, looked at our presentation, they saw our MVP, and they were talking about it, and they said, this is what we envisioned. They were thinking about this problem for, I think, a year now, and before they even pitched it to Hacking for Defense, they were thinking of ideas, thinking of ways that they could solve this situational awareness problem, and they told us in person, well, through the phone, they said, this is exactly what we had pictured a year ago. So the wallet is back in the beginning of the semester when the assignment was create the ideal wallet for your client. And we got into pairs and we evaluated the customer's needs, interests, what's it called, like colors or, and so we kind of related our creation of the MVP to the wallet in that we gave them exactly what they had wanted the entire time. It's kind of emotional, I'm not gonna lie, that's why I'm kind of jittery right now, because it's like amazing that we did exactly what they envisioned this whole time. And then, honestly, we're ready to design. We have the list of sensors that we want. We have the battery to power it all up. We really want to design it and test it and see where it could go from there. And we also want to reapproach our civilian workforces that we had done back like 4 weeks ago, or even 6 weeks ago, and see if our current MVP can address the needs of the civilian workforces like the firefighters, police, and SWAT, and hopefully save lives in those aspects as well as in the military. Thank you.
Great job. Questions and feedback?
So just a little bit of feedback. I think your depiction is very descriptive, but at this stage you might want to go to like a computer-generated thing just to appear, a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
So going back to your MVP, if you could walk me through like what's exactly automated and what the user is actually going to have to do. So I'm kind of confused with like the virtual reality, like headset type thing, because I understand he wants to like be able to see everything, but if he's going to actually have to be able to look at the video and see, oh, is somebody moving, or is it like automated? Is what's automated, what's like user input?
So user input, it's going to act, the onboard flight computers are going to actually be programmed to act autonomously. So what's going to end up happening is they deploy these two, and then they just throw out the smaller one. The 360 fly cameras are going to be attached along with one static one underneath each of the drones to act as the wireless hotspot. Now, one of the things essentially that the user has to do is really just pay attention to what's going on. So they deploy it, you say, all right, head to this position, and then activate whatever routine. Then they go in and they act autonomously. It will drop the small ones out of formation whenever it feels like the wireless signal's going down. But for the 360 cameras, they have the choice of either putting it on auto, or if they see a junction via the ATAC or the link back, which then they could, they actually do it or whatever. If they see a junction or something, then they have a choice of either putting one down or just saying, no, we're going to look further ahead, and then it'll drop it automatically when the signal gets lower again. So primarily, the user has end control over what it wants to be automated, but as far as the drones actually going and searching and mapping, that's going to be all automated.
I think you can modify those cameras so that they'll see IR.
That's one of the things that we're looking at is if we can find a way to get IR and thermal.
I think you just take out, there's a red filter. In most digital cameras, the way they make it see visual, you can just take out the red filter. It's actually a mechanical filter in the lens. In most cases, you can do that, and then you can transmit in infrared. GoPros do that. I think there's a company that hacks GoPros and changes.
You probably mentioned this. Do the two drones here carry these little wireless transmitters? Okay.
Yeah, the 360 or
That one.
the little drone?
Mm-hmm.
No, so go to the next slide. So they actually come with their own sort of system, and they have, you can't see it unfortunately because it's right here, but it's a little hanger essentially, and there's two of them and then a portable battery that charges them up. And so Soldier carries the big ones and then the small ones there, and then when it's time to go, you just throw them out, and then it programs them, and then they fly along with them.
Okay.
So, cool.
Guys, that was the timer. One more question?
Congratulations. Amazing job.
Great job.
Amazing.
Real quick, this is Kevin Nelson, one of the sponsors at the regiment. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, this is, I just wanted to bust in and give a couple of comments. So I wanted to say, great job to the team so far with what you guys have come up with, and also to the class overall. This is the first class that I've been able to speak at. I watched last week, but I had a microphone issue, so I wanted to tell you guys we've had a couple big breakthroughs in the last couple weeks, and when I dialed in tonight, I heard, I think it was Nick Swain, if not whoever it was, talking about the accolades and things, and I want to pass on to the class that he's spot on. The whole class is, you guys are making an impact on innovation and helping us at the same time. I'm looking at all the different problems across the class on Saturdays, while my wife's sitting next to me on the couch wondering what I'm doing, because I'm learning from every presentation, and it's helping me apply those things to my guys at work, whether it's our problem or not. I'm learning from all of the problems. So just want to throw that out there to the whole team and say thanks.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
All right, great job, guys. 1, 2, 3.